هيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا وإخاء صادقا عذبا نقيا أريحيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا خذ يميني يا أخيا.
And that's all it is. It is your thinking that is superior to everything, even the obvious signs that Allah has put here to remind us that He did this and He does this and not us. You know, so just like you said, you know, most of the times, you know, it's because of it's a spiritual deadness in the heart. But because of that, the intellect, the head gets very, very big, you know, and gets proud of itself, you know, and someone's talking about petty spiritual issues, you know, and especially a God that we can't see.
Yeah.
So now I've got as an atheist, I've got the advantage because I'm saying that I only believe in what I see. Now you show me, because my challenge to the people was, you show me God, you know. And it was stupid, you know, but you know, you show me God. Even though someone could have said, you know, well, you know, because I didn't meet Muslims at that time, you know, they could have said, you know, I can't show you, but I show His signs, you know, or I would draw a circle and tell, you know, if there's a God, tell him to put $20 right here. See, that's the intellect, challenging the God that you don't see with the material things that I do see, and the material things that you see and use also. So that's why when you're dealing, and I hear you referencing atheists a lot, you know, and you have to keep in mind, you know, the heart is dead in most cases. Now we're talking about true atheists, okay?
Yeah.
Because you have some people who aren't really atheists.
Yeah.
They're just going through a little game. They believe in God because, you don't believe me, pull a gun and put it in their face, you know.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Oh God, you know.
Oh my God, oh my God.
You see,
Yeah.
But then the real atheist, you know, really because there's something, I was like that. You know, I mean, I didn't believe, you know, I just knew there was no God. And all my arguments proved that, and especially people coming with the Bible, you know, that was playtime, you know. So again, you know, just bear in mind, you know, you're talking to people whose hearts are dead, and they're going to come at you with the material things as their argument, you know. And what you got to do is you got to take that thing that they cling to and give it back to Allah.
Yes. Allah.
And Allah.
Allah. Imam he has a lot of wisdom. He just get me somewhere. Put this in perspective. For the atheist to understand himself about God, he has to understand first who he is.
Right.
And that's why Imam is saying the heart is dead, so he doesn't know who he is himself. This the famous physicist, this guy who is in the wheelchair,
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. I was reading an article about him the last time. He doesn't believe in God, and he doesn't believe in anything.
Yeah.
But you know what he's afraid of?
What? Death?
Woman.
Yes, they put a hurt on him.
He said the only thing he has not been able to understand he's afraid of is a woman.
Oh, he can't understand the word, but he's not afraid. He said he's afraid of understanding.
I mean, like something. If somebody, just Imam's point. If this place is dead, you only deal with materials you see. So once you don't understand that material, then you become afraid of it.
Exactly.
Oh.
You become afraid because you don't understand it. Okay. Now, an atheist may be talking to you about so many things. Okay. I will take you, this is how I will explain to you if you want to know about God. You don't have to get that physical concept understanding of God before you believe Him. Because if I want to explain to you now about God, Everything I'll talk to you about is about things that I know. A baby in the womb. If you and I are talking about food, we talk about pizza, we talk about meat, we talk about chicken. We ask the baby in the womb about food, he was talking about his mommy's blood.
Yeah.
Simple. Okay? So a baby in the mom's body, the womb, you and I will be talking about sky, beautiful skies, trees, mountains, birds talking. But he will only be talking about if it sounds, it's mom's heartbeat. Yeah? If it is something visible, is the fluid that he's floating in. That's what he knows about water. So once he comes to outside, then he cannot see it. He starts hearing stuffs. So the most distinct voice he will be knowing at that particular time is his mom's voice. So if any other voice that comes that is not mommy's voice or daddy's voice, it just to him will be some kind of nonsense sound. So you're talking to an atheist about God that is out there, he will not have that understanding.
Yeah.
He will not know it. So bring him to his own level. Do you want to know who God is? Tell me, how do you live your life? Do you know exactly who is standing behind you now? Without looking behind? I don't know. So that's why God is there. So there are a lot of things we don't see, but we have to believe in them. So Imam, subhanAllah, the heart is dead.
The point that I got him to see is that, because he gave it a rhetorical example. He said, if I make something and I expect that thing to worship me, if it doesn't, then I burn it to hell. That's basically his image of God, what he perceives, what God does. So I said, I don't believe that kind of God you describe him. And I said, if I make something that can belong to me, and I command to do something, I have a right to punish it, because that thing is mine. I can do whatever I want to do with it. If it's trash, I throw it in the trash. If it's useless, I do just, what do you do with useless things? You just throw it in the trash. So I said, Allah created us to worship him, and he gave us a choice to do it. And he tell us, if we do it, this is what we're going to get. If we don't do it, this is what we're going to get. You choose now. If you choose to go that way, that's your choice. You're the one who picked hellfire, because he told you, if you pick this one, that's where you're going to go. So you got nobody to blame but yourself. When I told him that, he just stopped arguing.
Allah. The Quran says, sometimes they don't look for logic. All they need is the source of the information should be clean. When Ibrahim and the king was arguing, okay, Allah brings the sun sun rises from the east, then Cain bring it, and then once they reached to that part of argument, it was closed. Okay, he said you can kill. Okay, God bring life. You say you can give life. Okay, change the sun, instead of sun rising from the east, do it from the west. Then he stopped. Then the scholar say, that end of the ayah is he still had so many things to say, but Allah made his mind to stop thinking at that particular point.
Shut him down.
He shut him down. Allah shut him down. So that's what you do to them. Otherwise, what you just said now, that was so simple for anybody to understand. But he could have said something else. Give an example, like somebody, your child, if you think Allah cannot punish you for doing bad thing, you have a child. This child, you are the mean for this child to come to earth. You want this child to grow up in a good environment. And out of a sudden, he's disobedient to you. What do?
Discipline.
Discipline. But you're not disciplining at that particular time because you want to punish the child. But you are seeing something better for the child that the child is not seeing. So you want to drag him for him to be able to see that path. So if the atheist is not understanding that as a responsibility that he himself is taking for the betterment of the child, then something is wrong with him. Because Allah is looking for our betterment. Yeah, it's not punishing because He wants to punish. He wants us to be better.
Right. And remember, chastisement is earned punishment. In your demonstration to the atheist, include in the things that you're saying about the thing that you've created, that not only did I create it, but I have given it everything necessary
Allah.
and beyond, everything necessary to do the simple rules that I have said I wanted to do. I have given it everything, including the ability to choose this or that.
Allah.
And ask the atheist, now you ask the atheist, now what do you do in a situation like that with your child, this thing that you created? You've given it everything necessary to do what you wanted to do, but you've given it the freedom to not do it. And it also understands the consequences of its actions.
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Allah.
You see,
Yeah,
Allah.
definitely.
Allah. Allah.
I think I'll eat the pizza now.
Alhamdulillah.
Also,
Jazakallah khair, Imam. MashaAllah. Imam, you're not leaving us, right?
Oh, no. Go ahead, give me
Okay.
some water.
Because we want to hear more. You see, this, the atheists are the easiest people I think we can deal with. Because you already have vast knowledge about human beings, about religion, even about him than he knows about himself. If you're dealing with Christians or Jews, you're going to go deep into spirituality that he knows a whole lot about, you know a whole lot about. But atheists, they have limit. They are just surrounded by few things.
I noticed that too.
Yeah,
'Cause,
they don't have a whole lot.
I posed a couple of questions to some atheists. Basically, he tried to avoid it.
Yes.
I said, in an atheistic worldview, you have nothing to offer to the world, so I don't see no point in being atheist.
Allah.
I said you can account for objective moral value in the world. You can account for the purpose of life. You don't have no answer for anything, basically. Your life, your belief system is based on nothing, no foundation. So I don't really see the point why you're atheist in the first place. So he didn't really respond. But coming back to something that I encountered in dawah is that Christians using Quranic verses to validate the book. Have you ever encountered such argument? They use passage from Surah Ma'idah, Surah Al-Imran. You know, where Allah says that those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed, those are the fasiqun, zalimun, kafirun. Related to saying that let the people of gospel judge by the gospel. And they pose the question, if the Quran, if we are claiming that the gospel are corrupted or the Bible is corrupted, how can Allah say that to judge by a corrupted book?
You see,
And they
that,
use this argument to say that, it's valid. So
and that is taken out of context. Every time you take an eye out of context, that's what you're going to get. That particular ayah is mentioned in the Quran. There's another part of the ayah, another part of the Quran, where we are told that if we don't follow the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're going to be doomed. So where would they leave that particular ayah? Okay. So anytime they give you one out of context, give them the other one. Say they come in pairs. Okay. There's another ayah in the Holy Quran that says that, like I was saying, that Christians and Jews, they already know a whole lot about this spirituality. The Quran says that لن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم. They are not going to let you alone until you follow their path. ولئن تبعت ملتهم فإنك من الظالمين. If you do it, then you have lost your faith. You have oppressed yourself. So that is the part that comes in. They're always going to bring an argument for you to understand. Okay, we have to be dealing with our book and you have to be dealing with your book. Then you tell them that your book, we believe in your book, but we don't believe in the book that as it is today. Some of the contents may be applicable to our law, some may not be applicable to our law. Just as the Old Testament, the laws in the Old Testament, not all of them are applicable to the laws in the New Testament. So for us, all of the books that were sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we believe in all of them in total as the original. Yeah, somebody make a hand, please. As the original book. But application is what we have now, because Quran is a cumulative book of everything else that has passed. So, I mean, taking things out of context, you just have to be, in the Imam, you just have to be versed in the whole of Quran. If they take one out of context, get a pair and give it to them.
Yeah, the way I encounter it, there's a surah to, I think Surah to Muhammad, where Allah mentioned the description of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion, the mark of prostration. I said,
Fat.
huh? Surah to Fat,
Surah to Fat.
it's a victory. So I give it that description. I said, these are the descriptions that Allah said we're going to find in Torah and in Injil. If you can show me, then you have a valid, valid argument. But if you cannot show me, then this is not the Mark, Luke, John, and Peter, Mark, Luke, John, and Matthew, or not the revelation that Allah is talking about. Unless you can show me that, then this is the gospel Allah talking about. If you cannot show me that, then this is not the one. So when I told him that, he tried to play the reverse psychology. Like it's a tactic they use sometimes, reverse psychology, to make you feel bad about something in order to, so you can follow that path. They was like, so your understanding of your religion is better than what the prophet understood, or so on and so forth. So I told him, I'm not gonna fall for your reverse psychology, because I already know where you're trying to go, but it's not going through.
Allah.
And don't confuse reverse psychology with desperation. More than likely, usually they're just desperate when they say things like that.
Yes,
You
yes,
know.
yes.
And Ali, also bear in mind, the ayat for Wailul Ladina Yaktamun, thank you. When they say about, these are, how can these books be condemned? The Injil and Torah. Well, Allah is telling you right there, woe to the ones who write the book with their own hand and then say this is from Allah.
Yeah.
And to the extent that they're still writing the book with their hands, as you see so many examples of that New Testament, that's going through so many more metamorphoses even today, So, the thing is, you don't have to go back to the Quran. You can take them back to the confusion in their own ranks about their own book,
Yeah. Another thing, Imam, that really concerns me now is the effort that they're doing to have a Quran translation that is a combined ideology of all schools of thought in Islam, or all the sectors. The dangers about that is those of us who cannot read Arabic,
right?
that will be our own sole reference.
Yeah,
And it's going to bring a lot of confusion in the future.
just like the Bible.
Fortunately, in our Iman within us tells us that Allah says He's going to safeguard the Quran. And this is not by mistake that the Arabic text is being preserved for 1400 years. And when the day of judgment is coming closer, that knowledge is going to slowly disappear from the hearts.
Yeah.
Slowly disappears. So that the worst people in existence are those people that will be alive when the day of judgment comes. So my fear now, Imam, is this. Are we coming to that time?
It's close. You've heard of the American Quran?
That is
That's
the
the one you're
subject,
talking about?
yeah.
The
Oh,
American Quran?
I've not.
Yes.
I really want to get a copy. Yes. I read this Quran. Subhanallah, I forgot the author. This Quran that was written by one of the scholars. That Quran is so beautiful if you see it, but if you go deep into it, you realize that he has so much of the interpretation misinterpreted. Yeah, I forgot the version.
You talking about Muhammad Assad?
Yes, Assad,
Assad.
Mohammed Assad.
This is a Mu'tazila, right?
Mohammed Assad, yes.
It's a Mu'tazila.
The guy who used to be at the UN, work at the United Nations, right? Back in the
I
day.
think so.
Yeah, he was a Jew converted to
Jewish
Muslim, and then,
convert,
yeah.
Mu'tazila.
Okay. That book is well printed, and if you don't know much about Quran, Imam, you start reading, so many things you will fall for. But I think some of them are there without the Arabic text, right?
Depending on which publication you get
Okay.
from.
So if that did not satisfy them and they still have to get another one, no, that's a loss.
Yeah.
They have a new one now.
That's
It's
a-
called the Quran Study. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like over 500 page.
That's different from American Quran. It just came out, Imam, just
Recently,
like recently, not even 2 months ago.
Now this one is big. I think it's written by Shia, where he collected sources from everybody: Sufi, Shias, Qadiriya, whoever interpretation he can find, he just included in it.
Allah.
So a lot of non-Muslims get it, especially Christian missionaries, so they can know how to deal with each Muslim when it comes to interpreting certain verses and stuff.
Allah.
So I think that's kind of detrimental though.
Yeah.
Allah. Did we make Azan already?